Hi, I'm Alex Archbold, and I've been buying and selling antiques since I was 9 years old. From basements to scrapyards, I'll look just about anywhere I can to find lost antiques and collectibles. And sometimes I'll go big and buy everything. With my wife and kids, we run an antique shop in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, filled with some of the most unique items we can find. I never know what's going to happen or who I'm going to meet. This is our life, this is our adventure, and this is Curiosity Inc.
From home, honey.
Hi guys, and welcome back to this part of going through a whole bunch of stuff in my garage. I yesterday went through and bought a whole bunch of items out of somebody's estate. They passed on, they collected toys and other stuff. And I started going through some of these boxes, and I realized that other video was like gonna be 25 or 30 minutes long. So I thought, okay, we're gonna do this in two parts. So we're gonna go through the rest of it. Now, $3,000 is a lot of money to spend on boxes that are closed, but you know, when you kind of peek in and you see a few little gems, you get the sense that there's going to be a lot more. And so I did kind of take a risk, bit of a gamble, and ended up getting all this stuff. What's it all going to be worth? I don't know. We'll do a little bit of a tally today and we'll kind of see where we're at. I've got to have some really good items in here to start seeing my numbers back on this lot. We'll find out. Still, I think it's a little safer than a storage auction, but you know, I guess we'll see. Let's have a look. So far, we have the FAF. I don't know if I'm even saying that right. It's the Hobby Lock Serger in good working order, I'm told. That worth like $200 to $300 or so. We've got, and all the extra thread. We've got the banjo, which is a 1960s frameless banjo. And it's got its funky 60s, 70s era looking strap on there too. That's worth about $300 on its own, and then you got the case in there, so maybe you're looking at $350, $400 for that banjo. The old woodshaft golf clubs, they can range, but you know, a couple $100 there. So already we're closing in on $1,000 just between a few items. And then I've got to dig deep and find a couple $1,000 at least more of stuff out of all the rest of this here. A lot of the engines, a lot of the trains that were there the other day are kind of in the $100 to $200 sort of price range. We've got multiple American Flyers at $100 to $200 each. So it's about $800, $900 or $1,000 just in this area. So I'm thinking that I'm hoping that I'll have enough here to basically double my money. Yesterday, we went through some of these other boxes and I found the box Corgi toys, some old Matchbox and box Dinky toys. You can go back and watch that video. We kind of go through some of the toy cars. Today, I didn't get this far. I didn't get from this point on really. So we're going to go through this side of it and see what we got. Okay. So, I guess let's start with some of the bins. Bin number one. This might actually just come in handy. This is a tin glass fuse display, but it's got all the glass fuses in it, or at least the cases for most of them anyway. That will just come in handy. Just when you need a fuse, that might be something I would want to have in my own shop at my own garage. So as a display item, maybe it's worth, you know, to somebody who likes collecting this sort of stuff, I could probably get $60 or $80 for that, but that might just have to stay with me. I don't know yet. There's a couple old transistor radios. This is an old RCA Victor transistor 6. Kind of neat. It looks like it probably has the little headphones tucked in. Usually that's what you do, is you tuck the headphones down in the side there. Nope, just a little cloth for it. Well kept though. A lot of times these things really get cracked and damaged and broken. This one doesn't look too bad. So we've got that with its leather case. And there's another little RCA piece in there. A few old tobacco tins. Prince Albert. They used to have a joke. Do you have Prince Albert in the can? And they'd say, why, yes, we do. And the joker who called would say, well, let him out. Holiday pipe mixture. Nice ship on it. And there's something inside. It looks like a new in the box Ronson lighter. Ronson, the world's greatest lighter. Look like there's a little note in there, plus box, dollars and up. Well, that I would say that that's probably like a $30 lighter. Still nice to have though. Nice thing to have. These little pellets look like maybe baking soda pellets, and I see it says toy sub. And it's a good thing that I found that, because I noticed in this box, there's the toy sub. So I believe you put the pellets inside there, and as it reacted, it would kind of shoot out and make it go. I'm not 100% confident, but I feel like I'm pretty close. Probably that unscrews or something, you drop it inside. I haven't played with one of these. I know the general concept of it. I'll have to spend a little bit more time on it though. But I'm getting off course. We were going through this bucket. Okay. So I'll have to keep that together with the toy sub. Prince Albert tobacco, chewing tobacco, or smoking tobacco, I should say. Singer's sewing machine oil can. Those are kind of neat. People do collect old oiler cans, and Singer's kind of a nice colorful one. Probably like a surprisingly like a $15, $20 oil can. Far cry from the 30 cents it was new, and it's empty. So we'll be getting 15 or 20 bucks for an empty can. These tobacco cans are about the same, 20 to 25 each. So maybe we're looking at 100 bucks for the few tins there. This is a really neat Riley's toffee tin. Nice graphics on it. Looks like a dog painting another dog. Doing a little scene, kind of cute. But what's inside? Some fountain pens. And I always look for fountain pens. Mizpah. Always looking for nice fountain pens, because there are many collectors of them, and it's harder and harder to find the good ones. The good ones are often hard to find, aren't they? Aren't they though? Notice none of these are Mont Blanc. That's okay. I have found some in the past, but this is just some nice little fountain pens that we'll have no trouble, I'm sure, finding a home for. This one's kind of neat. I don't know if that's actual gold on there. I don't think so, because it looks like it's kind of greening and tarnishing a little bit, but I'll have to look for a gold mark. This might be a little bit more on the special side. I'll do a little investigating there, but some nice pens nonetheless, and in a nice tin to boot. What is in box number 3? Well, we've got World War II holster for a service revolver. That typical canvas, yeah, it's dated 1943, it looks like. I asked if they had the revolvers to go with them. They said no. But generally, when you find a holster, the weapons aren't far away. More toys. Majorette 600. We got a big fire truck here. What year is this from? 1980 something, I'm gonna guess. This feels like a 1980s toy to me. I don't see a date on the bottom or on the back, but judging from the fact it was $4, unpunched too, that's probably from the mid to late 80s. I remember having stuff like that when I was a kid. Nice that it's in its box, and there's another one. And there's another one. He just went and cleared out Woodward's of all their toy trucks. No kids got a toy truck for Christmas that year. They were all here. This was kind of neat. Lambert syrup. Genuine formula of the late Dr. Lambert. Wait, what killed him? Don't ask questions, just drink his cough syrup. What killed the good doctor? Well, he was caught with a mouthful of this. He might have gagged on his mustache. He might have inhaled too deeply. Bert relieves coughs. Shake well before using. Do you shake yourself? But this is unused. You know, in this antique medicine stuff, there are people who buy these things, especially when they're in phenomenal condition like this. All joking aside, these are probably worth, $40 a bottle, let's say, with the original box. To somebody who collects old medicine-related items, medical-related stuff. And there's 3 of those. It's kind of a neat pop bottle, Pepsi long neck. Now, it's not terribly old, but when we look at the other side, visit the fabulous World Water Park at West Edmonton Mall. So this was made specifically for our mall here in Edmonton, the World Water Park. So to a local collector, that's probably about a $10 bottle or so, $10 or $15. Oh, look at how happy this young lad is, because he's got the Langcraft powered model boat. And what does it look like? Well, it looks either that kid is really small or their picture's a bit off. But there's a seat and there's a roof. It looks like it's got a little boat motor that goes with it. Just a sweetheart of a little boat. I have friends that collect model boats like this. You can put a nice little outboard motor on it. It's got a little electric outboard on it already, but there are some really nice electric outboard boats and motors that you can get. I did a whole video on K&O boat motors at one point because they're so cool. That's a nice little find. We've got more milk bottles or milk containers with 7-Up bottles in it. 7-Up. 7-Up, lots of 7-Up bottles. And it's empty, but it's an original box to one of the Gilbert American Flyer trains that I have. So that'd be like one of the ones I have over there in the box. So when you have the original packaging for it, that really helps up the value. Makes it just a little bit more collectible. As I get the hiccups, Nabob coffee can, empty. Licorice toffee rolls, empty. I don't get any Blue Boy licorice today. Let's keep digging. Now this is neat. This is the top of an old Coca Cola bottle rack. And what's particularly good about finding the top of the Coca Cola bottle rack is when you already happen to have found the rack that it belongs to. All right, something like that. Needs to go in a little bit better, but that's the general idea right there. Let's see if I can get that to sit in a little better. Oh, that's as good as it's going to be right now without a little tinkering. But look, please place empties here. You put this next to your Coke machine, your empty bottles go in, they collect them and recycle them. This would date to probably the 1950s. So if you have an old Coca-Cola machine, having the bottle rack is actually a really nice addition. So that's probably, I would go ahead and guess, I could probably get about $425 Canadian for this because it's got the top on it. Really, really neat piece. Bottle collectors would buy it, Coke collectors would buy it, people who have a rec room with an old Coke machine would buy it. So there's a lot of people who would buy that, and I don't get them in very often. So that's a good solid piece right there. But what was in the box? Underneath it. Okay. Toys. Batman and Robin. What is this guy? These are fairly new. Transformers Beast Wars. And what year is this from? It looks fairly new to me. Like 2000s almost. It looks like it's going to be fairly recent. Oh no, 1998. Well, that's still not exactly new. And a couple more of these airplanes. We'll set that aside. What's in this box? Oh, there's a big box. Okay, maybe I'll open the little one first. This is... Oh. What are these? Pictorial Review. Combined with Delineator. 10 cents. March 1939. That's going back. So it must be... Yeah, I guess sort of like a... stories and ads. Kind of like a... I don't know if it's a Saturday Evening Post kind of idea, but... Probably ads in here. Buy uranium. Oh no, my muffin pan. You should try an asbestos muffin pan. Sometimes the ads that you read in these things, you think, man, what were they thinking? Makes you wonder what we're going to be doing, what we're doing now, where people are going to be looking back and going, man, what were they thinking then? Cool, that's a whole box full of them. So, and they're old enough too, going back. It looks like, this one looks a fair bit older. Let's see, what year is this? 1920. Yep, okay. Well, definitely got a box of old magazines. That's cool. I'll probably get lost just looking at all the ads in here. And that's, sometimes people will actually just go through these and they will cut out these ads and frame the ads. When you think about it, if you hardback one of these ads, you could probably get $5 or $10 an ad. Let's say there's, 10 good ads in here. You might be getting $100 for the magazine just with the ads rather than just selling the magazine itself. I mean, nobody's ever cut these up. It's kind of a shame to do it, but there is more money to be made that way. In the big box, we got more Meccano. Oh, there's an erector set there. See, they're basically the same thing. Gilbert made American Flyer, and they made these erector sets. And in England, they had Meccano. Geez, that's still sealed. That's like brand spanking new. That's got to be pretty rare. I mean, you'd think the first thing a kid would do would be to open up their Meccano set and play with it. But these are all sealed, 100% like brand new. I wonder if that one is too. That one is too. And these are quite old. These are probably 1940s at least. Look at the kid on the package. You always kind of tell by the way that they're dressed, 40s or 50s stuff. But look, there's quite a few new old stock Meccano sets and this big giant erector set. And what does it build? It build this exciting action rocket launcher. Well, that's neat. A rocket launcher set. Okay. That's cool. I think I'm close. I think I'm getting, with that and some of these other things I've been finding, I feel like I'm getting very close. I'm trying to stand up. I keep forgetting I've got my car behind me. I feel like I'm getting close to getting my money back on all this stuff. We're at about $1,000 there. Another, well, I guess the stuff we had yesterday was probably 1,000, another 1,000 or so here. So yeah, I'm probably clean on this deal already. And then the Coke rack, the old clock, the advertising clock, once I get it working, that'll be worth a few $100 at least. So I think I'm okay. I think I made my money back. And whatever else is in these boxes will be more or less profit. I know it's a funny way of looking at it, but it's the way I'm looking at it. So I guess I better go through these boxes and see what I've got. Little 4-string banjo ukulele, Dixie brand. Kind of a nice little item. Set that there for now. And we've got train cars. American Flyer. I could probably have enough to build a whole American Flyer set. What do we got here? RoboCop. 1995. Okay. We've got a RoboCop in the package. We got a Rambo. It's basically like a G.I. Joe, but it's a Rambo. Rambo, Champion of Liberty. Around the same era. Yeah. Little airplanes. Oh. Hey, I had this when I was a kid. That was one of my favorite little robot toys. Now, they weren't officially a Transformer. They were Transformer little things, but that's a little Corsair airplane that turns into a robot. And I had tons of fun with that thing. I used to love those probably more than even my Hot Wheels, which can't believe I'm saying. But let's see, we've got... This whole box is just full of little airplanes. What's at the bottom? It's a Matchbox from probably the 90s. Matchbox, for whatever reason like this, they aren't quite as collectible as the Hot Wheels from the 60s or even the Hot Wheels from the 70s and 80s, which can be quite valuable. So if I find some of those, I will definitely be setting them aside. Little 56 Chevy Nomad. It's just surprising to me the amount of variety that's in here. Colt Single Action Army model kit. Oh, that's kind of neat. I guess you'd build it and you'd have to paint it, put it together. It's just a replica gun, but 1-to-1 scale. That's kind of cool. Made in Japan. It's probably going to have some age to it. Probably from the 60s or something like that. That's pretty neat. There was a Lego kit. Nothing real fancy, but it's an old one. Basic Lego set. Still in the box? Or is it what's in the box? Hang on. It looks like it's been opened before. Is that what's in here, or have I been tricked? Is there something else inside? Let's see. Nope. It's a big chunk of Lego. That is what it is, but that's okay. Lego is pretty collectible. on its own. Somebody would still buy that thing. A whole bunch of trains. A little Trans-Canada Airline bag. This would have been one that they probably gave to a kid. And what's inside? Sounds like marbles. That's because it is marbles. Look, it's a whole bunch of old marbles. It's a big bag of them. Creamies and jumbos, and I don't see any steelies in here. And I know people really like their marbles. Some people have lost their marbles. Some people have bought their marbles. I bought these marbles. That's a nice little bit. And the bag itself is super cool too. More trains. More and more and more trains. More American Flyer. Well, some of it, obviously that needs a little TLC. But I definitely will have enough to put together at least a couple good sets. What's this? Looks like a remote control Mustang. Eldon, oh yeah, Eldon, okay, American brand. And it looks like it's a pump action. You push the air through and it kind of moves the tires. I think that vacuum line's probably a little worse for wear these days, but it looks like you would put batteries in it and off it would go. It's kind of neat. I've seen the Corvette before. I have not seen the Mustang by them. Let's see. We've got tons of cars. What's underneath? We got more rolling stock. Looks like Lionel rolling stock. Lots and lots of train cars, that's for sure. This is a box mainly of train cars. What's this? Yeah, gondolas and stuff. Okay, that's all rolling stock, which is cool. That's all good. Oh wait, that's not rolling stock. That's a Fisher-Price person. Playmo Space. Well, I don't think that's a space set. I don't think that lady with her umbrella was ever part of the space set, but that must be some sort of little promotional thing to come in a bag like that. Like a giveaway. Oh yeah, Esso giveaways. You go and fill up for gas and they'd give you a Playmobil character for your kid. Kind of a neat promo. There's a bunch of them in here. I guess if every time you went to go get gas and you got yourself a toy set, that'd be pretty cool for your kids. I used to have the Esso service station, the Playmobil service station, which was pretty neat. And this was marked Coca Cola with a price point of $75 on it. It says 23, 35, 39, and I can see there's stuff rolled up in here. So let's pull this out and see what this is. It's funny, they're advertisements, but you remember how I was saying you could separate them out of a magazine and get a little bit more money? It looks like that's exactly what this person did. They took the Coke ads out, and it looks like they were valuing them a little bit higher because they're Coca-Cola. And yes, Coke ads do sell. So we'll set those aside for now and come back to it. Let's go on to another box. We have, oh, more Dinky toys. That little guy there, little ferret patrol car. What do they call it? Field artillery tractor. Oh yeah, and here's the, this was the tray that had the really old Dinky toy in it. One of the old, that's like a 1920s or 30s Dinky toy. Missing its grill, but you can order that. And all of these, I remember these with, oh yeah, they're a McDonald's giveaway. They're like a little transformer that you were given with your Happy Meal, and there's a whole bunch of them in here. There's like a whole variety. There's the car, Solaris spaceship. I wonder if it's the whole set. If it's not the whole set, it's probably pretty close to a whole set. Or lots of toy tractors in the box. Those are Dinky toy accessories somebody's put in there. Those would be towed behind a little, I guess they could be towed probably with a little artillery tractor. Lots of Ertl and John Deere stuff. Motorized Bismarck construction kit, Lindbergh model. That's pretty neat. So you build yourself a working Bismarck. It does a figure eight, it does a circle, it goes straight up, but they haven't designed it to go straight down, which is what the real Bismarck did. So it was very difficult for them to sink that. Not an easy feat. Here's a giant US Army medium tank M60A1. Oh yeah, it's all there. remote control tank, 124 scale Bandai. That's pretty cool. That probably wasn't an inexpensive thing when it was new. What's in this box? Trains. There's trains in this box. It looks like a, I don't know if that's brass, but some rolling stock, or it's a tender, I should say. Lots of nice engines, steam engines. Looks like you only paid 20 bucks for it back in '83 though. That was a number of years ago. Doesn't look like it got much use or any use at all. And that scale is HO scale, which is very popular. It's still in use. This looks like an older train piece. Bickables. I don't know if that looks pre-war to me. Very close to it. Hornby, it says. Yeah, Meccano Hornby series, made in England. Wasn't that just a nice little piece? That's probably like, you know, probably $100 car all on its own for the rolling stock. Looks like it's, well, Hornby's double O, so that wouldn't fit on with a Lionel train, but that is a really neat item. And out of the fire extinguisher box comes more Hornby stuff. So I might, if I'm lucky, I might just come across a whole Hornby train here. Wouldn't that be nice to find the engine that goes with this stuff? Because this is early, it's tin plate. They've got all their nice little accessories with it, like the logs and everything. Would just love to find a whole Hornby set in here. That'd be awesome. Very nice looking train cars. Lots of engines. I'm finding that the better stuff aren't the engines that are in their original packaging like that, but it's stuff that's actually in these sort of other boxes. Like that. That is a big sucker. That is a brass. Yes, it is brass. When you see a brass casting on an HO locomotive, that's a good sign. Plus, when you get all these different wheels, that's a 4.8. So that's a 4884 from wheel configuration. That is a big honking locomotive. That must be what the brassy looking tender was for that. So that's a really cool thing. Always check your saran wrap, your plastic food wrap packages, because you don't know what you got. Oh, there's another American Flyer engine in there. Set that down, move this around. What's in the chocolate box? Is it chocolates? No. Really nice little locomotive set, Southern Pacific cars. All kinds of goodies. Well, this is a fun box to go through. Spectrum Trainmaster. These feel light, so they're probably all the same type of car like I found. More engines. Oh, there's a Southern Pacific engine that probably works on that same track. Always nice to have. Engines are the premium pieces, and then your rolling stock is kind of secondary almost. What is this? It's an After 8 chocolate box with a metal cast engine in here. It's really pokey too, actually. Let's see if I can get it out. I don't want to wreck it. Just a nice little workhorse. Stick it back in its chocolate box for now. Let's see what's in the Q-tip box. Ooh, don't want it to fall over. And inside the Q-tip box is a couple of diesel locomotives. Nothing too exciting there. You made in Yugoslavia, one's Cox made in Hong Kong. Those 10 Shoto's a little bit better quality though. These are typically metal. They did nice F3 diesel sets, F9 diesel. 10 Shoto locomotives were, I think, from the 50s or so. Yeah, there we go. Great Northern. It's original box and everything in outstanding condition. That's a good quality little set. Made in Japan back in the day. Made in Tokyo, Japan, in fact. Good box of trains right there. Another shoe box. And it's not shoes. There's a little toy gun. Tin plate. I don't think it's a cap gun. Maybe, oh, it shoots a little dart. It's like shoots a dart out of the end of it. Little toy guns in there. Whole bunch of replacement tires for Dinky and Corgi toys. That's handy and very nicely organized too. That's cool. Let's set that aside. Those look like more of the toy sort of Transformers, maybe some Dinky toys. Toy airplanes. Tons of, you know, I don't come across these all that often. You know, these little toy Dinky airplanes, but here I've got boxes full of them. Another truck. Lots of fun stuff. Okay, this looks like a fun box. That looks like another American Flyer train. I don't see the tender, but look, there's even a little guy in the driver's seat, in the engineer's seat there. That's a nice little detail. It's just a head. It's a decapitated driver's head. And lots of rolling stock. And I see tons of toys. Look at this. There's a Walt Disney Peter Pan lunch kit. There's nothing in it though. It's too bad. The lunch kit itself is probably pretty decent though. It's a nice little piece. Would have been nice if it was full of stuff though too. Dinky toy tractors, steamrollers, fire trucks. All kinds of goodies. Viewmaster, the Bakelite one with its original box. Chipperfield circus truck that somebody has painted green. It is possible to get that paint off, but to do it without wrecking anything is kind of tricky. That's the Daktari Jeep that's been squished, unfortunately. So some of this will be project type stuff, I guess. Some of it can go up for sale right away. Some of it is stuff that somebody might need to fix. Well, there's a whole box full. I'm gonna have to lay this out and do this proper here. Let's see what we got inside. Because every box has a different thing in it. There's so much cool stuff. Look at this. Isn't that ever neat? It's a little wind-up tin peacock. Probably fluffs up its plumage. Wind-up key. I'm not checking to see if it's a boy or a girl. I'm seeing where it's made. Made in Germany. That's a good sign. The German stuff is generally a little bit more pricey, more valuable. That's probably like a $250 Canadian turkey. Or it's turkey, it's a peacock. I kept thinking turkey because we just went through Christmas here. Oh, there's the army helmet. $150, $200 on that. Box full of little military soldiers. All kinds of cool goodies hiding in there. Okay, it looks like these are Britons. Little metal soldiers and people. Probably some Meccano Double, different scales and sizes to match the different types of train sets there are. Pretty neat. More train stuff. Surprise, surprise. It's no surprise. There's a lot of trains. Oh, hang on. That's actually kind of a neat one. That's a very pretty looking train right there. The Royal Blue. And I believe this is its tender right here. That's a handsome little set right there. Very Art Deco streamlined set. I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up being worth more than your average American Flyer train. That's pretty cool. I'll keep that one aside to research a little bit better. And a couple more boxes to go through. This toolkit, which is full of Meccano parts. Lots and lots of Meccano pieces and parts. And the ever important wheels that often go missing. And gears and motors. Those are mechanical motors. So you can mechanize your Meccano stuff. Make a working little car or tank or truck. Neato. Okay, the last couple boxes We have more Jello coins with its holder. And we have a whole box of vintage magazines. Chatelaine from the 30s with the Queen's mum on it, actually. All these great different covers. The art is so lovely on them. Chatelaine, 1931. 10 cents. You got a lot of magazine for 10 cents. Again, lots of great advertisements in these old magazines. Very interesting stories too, I would think. And there is a whole box full of them. These go way back. You know, we're talking 1920s and 30s way back. And this whole box is just stacked completely full. 1920 Canadian Home Journal. Isn't that neat? I wonder what the oldest one I have is. These all seem to be from the 20s. Oh, except for that one's from 1971. One random 70s one. Oh, TV guides and stuff. Well, it'd be nice to find like a stack of Superman comics in here or something. What's this? News Weekly. Hopalong Cassidy, 1950. Photographs. No, nothing in it. And a Walt Disney fairy tale coloring book. Uncolored. Nobody had fun with that one. I guess it kind of is good to go through these, see what else is mixed in, because you never know what can be mixed in here. Well, here's an older one. See if I can get that out. Ladies' Home Journal. Looks like it's been on fire, but I think it's just been sitting a long time. April 1912. Just a short time after this, the Titanic would sink. Wouldn't that be something if there was an ad for sailing on the Titanic in here? Oh, look, you order your own house. Look at all the great clothes in here. If you're trying to figure out what people dressed like in the old days, some really great full color pictures in here. Yeah, April 1912, they might have been advertising for the Titanic. I'll have to search through this one and see. Wouldn't that be cool? Don't know where that ad would be. I'll have to go through the whole thing. I'll report back if I find something. If I find an ad on sailing on the Titanic in here, that would be pretty neat though. But I'm gonna look at it though a bit more. That's a pretty neat magazine. And this whole box is full of them. So it's a good box. So after the first day of picking, I can say it looks like we'll double our money on everything here. And that's a relief because it's a lot of money that had to go out. But there's boxes and boxes full of trains and dinky toys and stuff. I mean, really things you don't find in someone's house available to purchase very often. Plus finding all sorts of cool literature like dinky toy advertisements and stuff. Why, in fact, this whole little portfolio was jam-packed full of Lionel ads and Corgi dinky toy ads and brochures, and those have value too. There's all sorts of people who love to look through this because you can see what the current models were and what stuff was selling for. You know, you can kind of oogle them and see if you've got them all. There's even, you know, adverts for Hornby and Meccano in here too. So just really, really neat stuff. I mean, just a neat collection altogether. So everything here, invested a few $1,000s in it. I couldn't be happier with the type of stuff I got because it's all things that I would sell at the store. Certainly somewhere between $6,000 and $7,000 worth of merchandise that have come out of here. It's going to take time to get our money back. It's not going to happen overnight, but it will happen. So now the tough part begins, and that's when I have to start taking all this stuff back to the shop. I've got to get it priced, sorted, and organized, and then get it up for sale. So wish me luck, guys. I've got a lot of work ahead of me, but the store will definitely be full of inventory before too long. I just got to get myself in gear here and get this stuff over. So thanks for watching today's episode, guys. Always nice to have you with us. We'll see you all soon, and as always, bye for now.